type in the notes. We're going to check the computer. We're going to check the, the database. And I think I'm going to have to make a Hadoop on ye old Windows here. And I think I have a theory. There's been many griefs. There's been many griefs about how to arrange these windows so that we can see everything. But I have some theories. Okay, so let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to say is that we're going to say KGB didn't like this move and even preferred E3 over it. Okay. I think he called it lame. Some terrible word. He had some nasty word for it. Okay, so C3. So D5, bishop F4, and now knight C6. So KGB noted that here E6. This is weird to me. That's very strange to me. B4, A5, B5, knight E7, intending knight G6. Quote, old theory. KGB. So there we go. Yeah. So that's that. I always get confused about what to say about the different moves. These were my evaluations pre-computer and pre-reference database. All right, let's turn on our reference database, and I will see what they say actually about after C5. We'll start there. Is he muted or am I crazy? Oh my God. Am I muted? Can someone tell me that? Here, let's see. That? No, I'm not muted, man. Hello, Kostya's here. Nice. All right, let's turn on our reference database. Just see what some people play. He was of the opinion that the line I ended up going down was chump change. Chump change, and I should have never done it, but we ended up having, like, I don't know, it was an interesting little sparring session we had later, but he wasn't into it. Now, we're going to have a Hadoop problem here, all right? I gotta make a Hadoop so you can see what's going on here. And then the second I turn the computer on, there's also going to be a Hadoop. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do the database first, and then I'm going to look at what Stockfish says. Okay, so here we go. D5, I ended up playing that like two rounds later. E3, indeed, number 2. C3, number 3. Stockfish himself has played C3, so how bad can it be, right? Okay. You can see there, it's very interesting. D5, hugely. I mean, I knew D5 was objectively the best move, but C3, that's a tricky move too. Okay, here we go. C3. D5, scoring the best. I played bishop F4. I don't know who Ali Stein is. Is that a computer? I have no idea. Right. So I played bishop F4. Dude played knight C6. And then DC actually scores better than E3. We'll turn on the computer. We'll see what it says. Actually, let's go down this line of if his old theory thing is a thing. So E6, B4, a5. Knight d4 is a thought. I didn't even think about that. It scores 16.7%. Knight d4. All right, v5. And then I guess knight e7 and knight b8 are good. Look at that, knight e7 scoring 16.7%. Jeez, Melise. 16.7. Okay. In any case. Okay, so I played bishop f4, knight c6, e3, queen b6, queen b3, c4, queen c2, bishop f5, queen c1. Now, here's some of the big questions. Carlsen actually played knight h5. I was very confused about like what I should do after knight h5. All right, so let's just look at what Carlsen, or I guess Carlsen, whoever Carlsen's opponent here. So knight h5. Kamsky, of course, played bishop g3. That guy always played bishop g3. And what we're seeing is huge divergence here. Huge divergence of opinion. But okay, we'll go down the main line, see what happens. Bishop g3. That's in fact what KGB also wanted to do, just play bishop g3. And this morning, I said, KGB is not going to care about losing the bishop. And Kamsky doesn't either in these positions, to be fair. And we actually had this same position, and e4 was the line I think we were looking at. Yeah, e4 and bishop h7. We had this on the board. Interesting. So I'm going to write that down. Me and KGB reached this position in the analysis, and it's been played several times. Okay. So you can see my notes. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do after knight h5. I was a little concerned. So let me tell you guys about my conspiracy theory. Maybe Kosti's listening. He'll be into my conspiracy theory. When you got two people that don't really know what they're doing, but they kind of have a sense of where other games have gone, both players will contrive to reach that anchor point, and they'll get there, avoiding all the weird complications along the way because they got that anchor point. So we're going to end up getting to a position where both sides, I think, are going to screw up the move order. And I'm the first one to screw up the move order with bishop e2 here. Now, in my notes, I felt h3 was more correct. KGB wanted knight bd2. And you can see that knight bd2, if you're not afraid of knight h5, then it's fine, right? All right, let's see what the database says. Knight bd2 the most, h3, and then some clowns, including Rajabov and back row, played bishop e2. My sad, sad move. So there you go. All right, so my sad, sad move. And then the question after my sad, sad move will be, there's a couple options black has that he does not have after my sad, sad bishop e2. So bishop e2. h6, bishop e7, right? Queen d8. Bishop e7. I played h3. Rajabov played h3. Now, in this position, I'm going to write this. KGB thought this would have been interesting, stopping knight h5. From his perspective, however, white is playing to equalize in this position. I don't think that's really right. It's a fight. So h3. Let's continue our database. We'll look at Stockfish later. Cry. Make sure you get this right. Well, that's funny. I was looking. Well, what did I play in the game? Well, buddy, it's right there. It's right there. You've already inputted the game, boss. All right. The guy plays castles, and he's pushing his luck with the h6 move, and maybe he should. Oh, I hate it when it does that to me. All right. So h3. He castles. And I castled. I probably should have played knight bd2. All right. Now he plays, well, he played h6, and I want to stress that a move, that it would have been interesting for him to play queen d8, trying to say that you do not have to worry about knight h4. So for example, queen a5 might also have a similar intention. So queen d8, knight bd2, b5, and now can I play knight h4? Again, and then in this game they just did this. Maybe. Then we got b3 and rook e1. Rook e1 I don't understand though. Okay. So, and I should have put that in here. You could also say queen a5 with a similar intent. Due to my move order, black could have considered neglecting h6. For whom is he writing notes? Mostly for myself, yeah. I make a point of my simple process is, and maybe I can convert Hello Kostya into doing this. I spend a week with each game, analyzing it by myself. Then I ask the coach, KGB, his opinion, and I input the notes. I input the written notes before, written on a notebook, and then I input them here. Talk to KGB, and then I come back. This is the final step. And I'm going to see what the database says, and I'm seeing then also what Stockfish says. And then I'm done. I head on to the next game. I just told you, Nordovich, I do this once a week. I do the whole game for 1 week. So knight e2. Now, I think in this position we have transposed. We'll see in the database. And I think we're going to see that we have now transposed a position where many strong players have reached this precise moment. We're going to see if I'm actually right or wrong on this. There it is, loads. Maybe it's not quite as much. And now this rook fc8 move is really interesting. Okay. So I'm gonna put in rook fc8, and I'm gonna write something here. This is the most common move, and it reflects KGB's opinion that black should try to prevent b3. Whereas I thought queen d8 or queen a5 would have been the right way. Because queen's misplaced, you play for b5. Do you reread your notations a lot again later? Yeah, the writing down of it is the most important thing. What I do often look at is that I'm creating, for decades now, a database of my own games on ChessSpace, and that I often can look back on. All right, so rook fc8. I gotta believe in white's position after rook fc8. Let's look at a couple games here and see how it went. So bishop d1, my plan, right? Queen d8. This is like I'm up a tempo though on this other thing, man. Let's just go a couple games here. b5. All right, Radjabov plays rook e1, b4, e4. Takes. Knight takes. Knight d5. What happened to the Radjabov game? Oh, he took on knight e4. The strong player said, screw it, I'm going to trade everything off. Bishop f6, that doesn't look right. Rook e1, that looks right. I see, okay. Yeah. Huh. I might come back and look at this with the stockfish here. Okay, interesting. So, right, the very typical play of this position. Radjabov. Raga. I think Raga is the top Austrian player. So let's just say some obvious stuff. Okay. But compared to the game, it seems to lose a whole tempo in the e4 plan. We're going to see about this. All right. So, knight bd2. Let's see what happens here. All right. So we do have strong players playing both queen d8 and queen a5. So queen d8, let's try this. And now knight e5 was played a bunch. Kamsky plays rook e1. And there is some strong players playing my move. Bishop d1, makes sense. b5, bishop c2. Dordum, thank you for subscribing, buddy. 2 years of dojoing. How about that? How about that? 23 months. Well, my friends, you've probably seen a picture of a cartoon picture of the dojo people. And that is by our friend Dor. So here you go, bishop c2, queen c2. And I thought b4 was correct. And funnily enough, bishop d6 is what KGB wanted. Though I did convince him that white was a little bit better after bishop d6. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, my sense of this was white was a little bit better. Let's just see what the Nizzi piano part of the grass game here. Boom, 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 boom. And then, right, I thought white should play queen f4 here. Queen takes d5, knight e5 looks like a real weenie path. Well, but maybe I should take the weenie comments back, buddy. It's pretty weenie. Oh, maybe it's not so weenie. I get it. Okay. Okay. That's maybe not so dumb. Maybe white's a touch better. We're going to ask the computer later about that. So let's write Nizzi Parley Grass 2018. Crank up the mic volume. All right, let's crank it up. Is that what I'm doing? No, that's not what I want. We want this mic. Crank up the volume, baby. Bop, bop, bop. Is this down? I can take it all the way up. All right, that should have solved it, Diamoki. We'll see. White queen d5 to fight for the center. To fight for the center. You can see my notes here. Wait a second. Okay. My notes here were e4. I was claiming that white was a little bit better. It does seem that way. Now, why bishop d6? I would say, very simple thought. KGB wanted this to fight for b8. Okay. So now here's the obvious thing we're going to see in the database. Rook c8 instead of queen d8 b5 is clearly played to prevent b3 of some kind. And look at this. I just played queen c2. There's some, okay. And, darn it, it's being a jerk. Yeah, we're all waiting for the moves, buddy. We're waiting for you to make some moves, you jerk. Queen takes c2. All right. This position, surprisingly, not, I'm going to say I'm a little surprised that we have only one. Well, the top players, this is really interesting. The top players really did play KGB's move of bishop d6. And KGB's okay with being a little worse. He doesn't mind. But b4, I thought, was definitely the big-time move. And a5, now maybe we might transpose. So I'll put in a5, but it seems like that is a novelty that my opponent plays here. So, but let's look b4. And I thought e4 was the right move. We got one strong player playing e4. No, negative. White player was ridiculous. I thought this was a key position here. And queen a5 doesn't make any sense. Rook e8 doesn't make any sense. We'll see what the computer thinks here. I basically thought this was an interesting game, and we sparred this out with KGB a little bit. Now, question mark. Does a5 transpose to some game? I'll just make sure here. a5, does it transpose? So, amazingly, this is where the novelty comes in. All right, so boom. Set prefix, novelty. MD Knight, thank you, buddy. This is the novelty. Okay. So now, I thought in the post game that b3 and e4 were, I vacillated a little bit, you know. But I thought e4 would have been the more principled plan that I should have played. And me and KGB sparred a little bit. Yeah, we got some interesting positions. Let's see if I can reconstruct them here. Actually, I think I still have we're doing our business on chess.com. Yeah, we went pop, 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 a4, a3, pop, pop. KGB and I sparred with this, but now I get to play knight e5, queen c7, rook e3, and even Mr. Grumpy had to concede that black has to watch out. All right. Okay, so now we're still dealing with, all right, we got database. KGB said, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Jeez, Melise. Leave me alone. So A3. In general, KGB didn't want to play A3, but he really didn't think white could be playing for an advantage. Okay. Now, rook c8 looks weird, but maybe it looks weird, or rather, let's say looked weird to KGB, and of course it does, but I couldn't find anything wrong with it. We couldn't find anything wrong with it. All right, the computer's just going to rip me up here, of course. So boom, boom. All right, so knight e5. I liked, actually KGB maybe did make a fair point that this is like queen b3, queen a5, like f3. It made me nervous in this position, but okay, so during my post, I felt black was better. KGB said white is still totally fine. Okay, so here we go. Rook c1, queen c1, queen c8, a3, and then this nasty happens. Now here's the thing. I was trying to tell KGB that I should have just made the draw here with knight c6. He ends up liking knight b1, kind of just to hold the tension. So, okay, let's just say KGB didn't mind this move in itself. I see it as the beginning of the end. Maybe I should say I still see it as the beginning of the end. We haven't even talked to the computer yet, Dor. The computer's computer's not grumpy. It's just, silicon, whatever you want to call it. All right, so I think we're ready to turn on the beast. I'm going to have to jadoob some windows here. So here we go. Adkabitzer, Mr. Stockfish. All right, let's see what it says. All right, let's see. Look at this. It actually likes white's position here. This was totally random. They ended on this position. Hilarious. Look at that. It likes white's position. Effing hell. Probably likes knight b1 too. Look at that. Knight b1. It approves of knight b1. Oh my gosh. Oh. All right, let's go back to the beginning. And let's just look at, I bet it's going to like d5 here. It always likes d5 in these positions. Cry, what do you want to do here, buddy? I need to jadoob the windows. I can guarantee it. Actually, the windows don't look too bad. No, they do. They got to get fixed, buddy. So we don't need the right-hand window. I don't even know. If someone knows how to get rid of that right-hand window, let me know. We'll just make a jadoob over here. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see Mr. Terrible computer at its worst. Yeah, that's right, Damascus. So here we are. Bishop f4, knight c6, and let's look at this dc5. So I thought this was my chance. It was saying e6, b4, a5, b5, knight e7. Look at that. Look at that. Computer, he's just like old theory. Old theory, KGB. Unbelievable. Okay, e3. All right. It actually approves of bishop e2. Now, actually, so it changed its mind. And one of the things we got to say about the computer will love any time that either side can grab the bishop. So, for example, knight bd2, knight h5 is what it wants. Okay. Let's just look at what it thinks is best play after knight h5. All right. Bishop g3. Knight takes, pawn takes. g6. Definitely not intuitive. Let's go ahead and look at e6 for half a second. Knight bd2. h5. That wasn't on anybody's mind. h5. Jeez, Melise. LOL. That's what I say to h5. LOL. I don't think, that's just not on anybody's radar. That's just not on anybody's radar. Okay. So, this window's a little funky, isn't it? Let's just, darn it, jerk face. All right. So, e6, bishop e2. And now, of course, he should play knight h5. So did I? Yeah. Normally I don't adjust it because of stockfish, but I knew that going in. That was just a bad situation. So bishop e2, bishop e7, and I should play h3. It still likes black, interestingly. All right, here we go. So I went boom, boom, boom. And it likes h6. So let's go down the road of queen d8 just to see what happens there. Queen d8. Oh, b3 might be interesting. But also, it's saying I can play knight h4. Okay. Says equal. And I did look at that variation in the notes. All right, so h6, knight bd2. Look at that, rook fc8. It is the move look at that, rook fc8, boom. That is, in fact, the most common human move. Wow, rook fc8. And look at that, it even wants rook fc8, bishop d1, queen d8. Let's follow the computer's line here. So rook fc8, bishop d1, queen d8, bishop c2, b5. Look at that, it loves black's position. Rook e1, b4. Something's wrong with e4. There's something wrong with e4, buddy. DE, knight e4, knight d5. So the Ragger dude did not do this. Wow. Let's just see. So this is the natural. Either this. Oh, wow. Okay. SF says clear advantage black. So if you go d2, you lose b8. And if you go g3, you're just going to get hammered with a5. It's funny, the humans all took on e4 instead of doing knight d5. Or rather, the strong humans played knight takes e4, and the weaker ones played knight d5, which is what Stockfish wants here. Yeah. That's grief, man. Huh, okay, so now let's go down this road. I thought queen d8 during the game, and in the post, I was like, well, that's what you do. I didn't consider rook fc8. All right. And now look at that. It wants b3. Why did they play rook fc8? To make b3 difficult. Huh. All right, let's just look at this for a second. So b5, a4, a6, queen b2, and SF says equal. It's a good example of the computer and the people doing the same move with rook fc8. And yeah, dude knew. KGB knew. He was like, rook fc8, man. That's the move you got to do to make b3 difficult. All right, here we go. Queen d8. I did bishop d1. The computer does not approve. b5. Bishop c2. All right. Now, he could have done all kinds of things, but bishop c2 is the computer's move, so we're going to stick with it. And now it wants, it thinks a5 is just fine. All right, so I thought here I should have played e4. The computer is saying b3. And when I played b3, I just want to stress, I thought I was a little bit better. Computer doesn't like it, buddy. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see what's wrong with e4. I guess something is obviously wrong about e4. b4. It takes. Rook fe1. a4. a3. So we had all this. Wow, look at that. Rook e8. So while I found this position to be fighting for both sides, SF says clear advantage black. Which basically means that it thinks white doesn't have chances for a king side attack. For example, oh, I get it. So one thing it's also seeing, okay, is like knight e5, snip, and if I take with a pawn, I have to worry about knight c5. Oh, it's already doing sad things like, so for example, knight f3, knight c5. Now SF says minus plus. Oh boy, it happened so fast. It happened so fast. To remove cloud engines. You guys are amazing, man. Go into setting and uncheck connect automatically. Then press OK. Then press disconnect. Go into setting. I don't know what that means, go into setting. See, I'm a boomer GM. What do you mean go into setting, buddy? What does that mean? Go into setting. Settings somewhere? Man, I don't know how to do it. All right, let's settings. Engines? Cloud engine or something? Oh, hell, how do I get rid of that thing? Okay, settings, yeah. Go into cloud engine. Where do I go into cloud engine? I mean, maybe I want cloud engine. All it's telling me is some Fritz stuff, right? Or maybe I want it. Maybe I just don't know how to use it. Or maybe the settings is the thing you're talking about right here, buddy. Okay, wait, time out. Before I disconnect it, maybe you guys can enlighten me. Does it have value, this thing? Is it when we say cloud engine, is it doing something better than my local engine? I mean, maybe, I don't know. Huh. All right, I'm going to keep it for half a second. I've just always found it a little distracting. Okay, so how Gilda says get rid of it. So let's disconnect this. Okay, no, it didn't do anything. I disconnected it, but it didn't go away. It didn't go away. I want it to go away. I want it to get off my spot, you know? So settings. No, I can't get rid of it. I want to get rid of it. And then press disconnect. Hey! Hey! Look at that. How beautiful. Finally. Finally. I got rid of that thing. That happened too. That used to not be there, and it was chess base when I upgraded or whatever, changed to stock chess base 15 or whatever it is I have. Okay, so you guys, it's saying P3, and like KGB is saying, maybe I'm fighting for a draw. Boom, 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 boom. A4, Queen D1, B1, Rook C8. Look at that. SF approves. All right. C takes. Knight takes. Look at this. We're playing. All of a sudden, it likes it. And now, A3. Look at that. I said it, buddy. I told KGB. I was like, this is the move you... Not A3 here. Excuse me. I was saying, knight takes B4 on knight E5. He should be playing A3. Yes. SF agrees with me. Says black is a little better. Oh, I'm a genius, too. I am truly a genius. I knew this in the game, too, that A3 was the one I was worried about. And like a lot of FMs when playing a GM, they try to liquidate. Queen C8. It likes my A3. Look at that. Oh, my gosh, it's saying I'm clearly better after A3? KGB, this is actually interesting. KGB wouldn't let the knight go to A6. He was very upset about it. I'm sorry, I didn't do it, KGB. It was my opponent, man. He did it. I didn't do it. I thought I was better. And look at that. It's saying knight b1, a little bit of an advantage. Well, we're going to analyze this with the computer. Wow, dude. Okay. And it was the g4 move there, move 26 is truly. So, all right, there we go. So, KGB wanted this move, and so does Stockfish. Wow, okay, we're going to see here. So, knight b1, rook a8, and now I truly did not see a path to any kind of advantage here for myself. Knight d3, g4. g4 is a weird move, man. That is a weird move. Let's just put it on the board and see what it wants. g4. Daddy really no comprende that move, man. All right, I would play knight e4. Maybe KGB is cheating, dude. Because he always, a lot of times we get these weird variations, like he put in knight d7 when we were analyzing it. Or a similar idea. No one played g4, but there's similar similar things. In fact, KGB wanted to play f3. And then I was playing knight e8. And then knight d7. Huh. Sometimes, like today, it really didn't feel like he was cheating. Me and KGB reached this position. Because he missed stuff sometimes, but the fact that he came up with this weird, I felt it was weird. Like, anyways, this was also dead equal. So let's just see this g4 for a second. It's very hard for me to understand or believe. Once the rook gets to the b file, we're in trouble, right? Knight e4. Let's just give it a second here. Let's just give it a second. f3 is human, for sure. g4 is another worldly, dude. Now the computer wants bishop h2. King f1. Now, king f1 is at least consonant with, at least human, and a little consonant with the way I was doing it. All right, we're just going to give it a second here. It's moderating its opinion here, but the basic problem, let's just put it out there while the computer's thinking, is obviously the knight on a6 is garbage. But the problem is that my knight is garbage. And it's very hard to avoid liquidating completely on the queen side. All right, so the computer's thought a little bit, and it wants knight d3. All right, my first question is, what is wrong with knight e4? Apparently rook c6 is the answer. Wow, it's like clearly better. Oh, maybe that is a good move. Huh. All right. All right, let's look at this. Rook a7. That's the human move. Rook c8. King h7. And now we come back. it's equal. It's equal. So let's give it a second. Let's give it another try here. Well, it's true that you follow the GMs, not the computers. I'm just interested. I really spent some time both during the game and in the analysis trying to squeeze something, anything, out of this position. I felt like he had committed crimes with knight a6, and some of my pieces look good, so I was like, maybe I have something here. So I want to give it a second here. All right, basically it's equal, and then I just went downhill. Now, just for my own benefit, I'm going to tell you guys a pattern that I have, that I think other players have, but I really have it bad. When I'm playing somebody lower rated, and especially if I think they've made mild chess crimes, which they always do, I push it instead of saying, hey, let's make a draw. So earlier on, like knight b1, even though it's technically not a mistake, and even though the computer's kind of encouraged by it for half a second, it's like at that point I needed to be like, no cry, you don't got anything, buddy. It's time to make a draw. It's time. All right, we're going to try this g4 move one more time. And instead, then I push too hard, and then I start doing weird stuff, gambling. And knight b1, even if it's technically correct, it's like a gambler's move, man, with that stupid knight there. All right, knight e4. It keeps loving this thing on g4. We'll just give you a second here, buddy. This g4 move. This g4 is very abstract to me. I'm not even sure, like yes, you gained some space over there, but like, why was it a big thing? I guess my king gets a spawn. No, but look, it's basically completely dead. It's completely dead. So, right, is encouraged at first by this and knight d3, but it quickly goes to nothing. Or maybe it wasn't so quick, but it went to nothing. All right, you guys, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna show you what happened. I pushed too hard here, and now it all ends quickly here. I didn't know what to do. I played king f1, not great. Even here, a computer says I'm fine. And then that's a bad one. And then look at that, rook b8. Or g5 first, and then rook b8. I think I'm close to lost it. Computer wants king g1. That would have been a hell of a move. SF says I'm only clearly worse after this. Okay. Oh, man, that really hurt. Yeah. All right, my friends, that really hurt. Anyways, right? You got to do it. Got to analyze your games. Got to analyze the pain. And one thing I want to mention is some people have asked, like, hey, Cry, can I see your notes? How do you do it? I do need to do a video about how to analyze the games. And what I'm doing as well with the help of DM Hokey is I'm putting my, like, pictures. I hope people find this interesting. It's a little bit of a pain. Pictures of my handwritten notes and then the PGN of all of these files on our website. The millennials don't like websites, but we told Kostya that he had to suck it up, that we're going to have websites. So we got a website now. And yeah, we got the website. Anyways, you can check it out if you want. That's on our Patreon page. Excuse me, it's on the Patreon page. We might put it on the website in a way too. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm going to rate somebody, and I'll be back soon. Check out our website, though. It is amazing. David Proust is the first to put on some some content you can buy for like $1. That's pretty cool. And let's raid hashtag chess. And I'm gonna try to do some content there soon. We're gonna have our program. We're gonna meet soon, actually, next couple days, to talk about our program and our universal training program that I wrote the rough draft of, and then we're gonna get out there in a better way. All right, boom. If you have not given us a follow, anyways, there it is. Boom.
It is neither of those things. Chess starts your life.